always try to prepare like the starter each and every week.
I cannot wait to watch him play here tonight. Down the field, what a strike to Benson. And that was a rocket.
Fernando Mendoza, a rifle. Fernando looking left across the middle, caught, touchdown.
The only place that Mendoza could put it.
This level's a whole step further. The margins are so small.
Baptism by fire every day, especially a rookie quarterback.
The buzzwords are flying. The last dress rehearsal before we are full on. Week 3 of the NFL preseason kicks tonight. Week 1 of the regular season kicks in 13 days. Vegas hosting San Fran at 8 p.m. Eastern tonight on the ESPN Unlimited. Number 1 pick Fernando Mendoza's preseason hasn't really been anything to write home about. Played the first half in its entirety last week. Completed 53% of his passes, 8 for 15, 86 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick. Preseason opener, a little better. 63% completion rate, did have a touchdown with no interceptions. And with that, we formally welcome you into NFL Live, running a little 12 personnel today. Jeremy Fowler in studio, and then we have Jason McCourty, Chase Daniel here for the duration out wide. I'm Phil Murphy. Jeremy, let's stay local, start with you, and start with tonight. Fernando Mendoza with the Raiders. How much do we expect to see him in this game?
Phil, I'm told he should get a healthy run. It could look somewhat similar to last week where he played the first half. The ultimate number of snaps will be up to head coach Clint Kubiak, but he will play, and they want to see him build on the positives and the negatives from last week. The positives, they loved how he threw on third down. Crucial throws, third and long. He was able to deliver the football and get the chains moving. The negative there is they want to see him improve that interception where he threw it late over the middle. You can't do that. Some of the nuances of the game they want to see him improve upon, but they love where he's headed. Kirk Cousins remains entrenched as the starter, at least unofficially. They have not named him yet, but Mendoza could give a lasting impression here, put his mark on the preseason before we hit week 1.
Yeah, and it's a pretty manageable early schedule for the Raiders before things get very rocky midway through October. Let's go to our quarterback, Chase. Last time that we see Mendoza on the field before it actually counts, where do you want to see the rookie improve his game?
Look, I just think he needs to get comfortable within the offense. And we talk a lot about it. He played like 8 snaps overall in his entire career under center in college. I think he played 10 or 12 last week. So that's the biggest thing is, hey, what's being asked of you at the line of scrimmage? Let's just remember, though, and J-Mac understands this, vanilla game plans in preseason. The Raiders and Clint Kubiak aren't going to show anything out there, but you have to be able to run what the offense says to do. And look, I don't think at any point he can do anything tonight to prove that he's going to be the starter in week 1. And look, 8 of the last 10 quarterbacks, as you're seeing here, that's drafted number 1 overall, they all started week 1. So whatever you think Mendoza week he is playing, if you think it's week 10, it's probably week 5. If you think it's week 5, it's probably week 3. I say that because he's going to be ready. You can't tell me that a quarterback goes out there and if he's playing for the Raiders and they're 1-3, J-Mac, that in week 5, you don't think the fans are going to be clamoring for Fernando Mendoza? That's the one thing as a quarterback, you have to get game reps. Preseason matters, but you have to get game reps and game experience to feel really comfortable out there.
And I love what you said, Chase. When you say, what do you want to see from Mendoza? You talked about the vanilla game plans. Well, with a vanilla game plan, I want to see a smooth operation. The second play he got in a week ago was a false start. They were bringing the tight ends in motion. Half the offense knew that what snap count they were going on. The other half didn't. For Mendoza, take control when you get out there and have everybody moving in that same direction. The other part for me is start to speed up the decision making. I think that's a big difference. You talked about him being under center. He was in with the backup offensive lineman against the Texans. I would assume that it's going to be very similar this week. Hey, different situations present different opportunities for you. Make sure you're getting that ball out quick. If you have room to scramble, get up in the pocket. But just everything moving a little bit quicker, I think, in these vanilla game plans, not only for Kubiak on the offensive side of the ball, but also what he's seeing on the defensive side of the ball.
We know what lies ahead for Vegas in the AFC West. But again, to point out this schedule for the Raiders, they don't face a playoff team until week 5. Kansas City, a little bit of a technicality because we expect them to be in the mix. And then it's Patriots, Bills, Rams, layover against the Jets, and then Niners, Seahawks, Broncos in quick succession. That is
good luck.
Brutal, and that's about the time we might think Mendoza might get dropped in. Chicago wins the division if what?
Defense can rank top 5 again in takeaways like they did last year. I think Luther Burden makes that jump to a legit number 1, number 2 receiver to fill in DJ Moore's takeaway. And then also, you can't just rely on comeback wins. Look, the Bears had 12 total wins last year. 7 of them were come from behind. I like that, but start faster from the jump.
J-Mac, same question for you, different team. Green Bay wins the division if what?
Love wins, baby. Jordan Love playing an MVP type of level for these Green Bay Packers. No Micah Parsons to start the season. That's okay. Don't worry about it. Love's got us. Oh, no longer have Romeo Doubs or Dontavian Wicks. Don't worry about it. Love's got it. Those receivers on the outside have to step up. Tucker Kraft, he's going to be back to norm towards they get to the middle of the season. It's going to be on Jordan Love. Step up into the spotlight, be an MVP type of player.
Yeah, leading face on Love Island. New on NFL Live, we got some tight end news in Green Bay. Jeremy, what's going on?
Yes, Jonnu Smith, veteran free agent tight end, signing a 1-year deal to the Packers, according to our Adam Schefter. This is a nice ad for a team that was looking for a number 2 receiver. Jonnu Smith can line up out wide. He can catch passes for you, but they got their number 1. That's Tucker Kraft, whom they hope to sign to an extension before week 1. He crushed his rehab. He looks great upon return. This is going to probably have to be a deal that reaches that $20 million threshold. The tight end market has not jumped that high yet. Then you got Leonard Williams, the big cat, with a new deal, 3 years, $90 million, back to Seattle. They've been working on this one for a while. They had 2 priorities this offseason. Devin Witherspoon, the corner. Leonard Williams, who's the number 1 D tackle, according to our ESPN rankings, league-wide, had a monster year. So they got 2 guys done. They couldn't keep everybody and run it back completely last year, lost some free agents, but they're keeping their key guys.
But for Leonard Williams, 22 sacks over the last 2 seasons and a second-team All-Pro a year ago. Head coach Mike McDaniel shared his thoughts on the extension.
I'm very excited. You know, we want great players, great people. We want Seahawks on our team, as many as we can possibly have. You want to be able to pay everybody as much as you possibly can. Obviously, there's limitations on these things, which is why it's so important for us to be able to keep as many Seahawks that we feel like can help us out in our building as we come down to like this portion of the year and really throughout the season. But when there's game-changing type guys like Leo, like Spoon, like Jax, we had the opportunity to lock them up for an extended period of time and make them foundational pieces of our team. That's got to fire you up. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I understand Coach McDonald being fired up, J-Mac. The Douglas fir, not the only green we're seeing in the Pacific Northwest. Seahawks getting paid. What do you make of how the Seahawks have handled this offseason?
You got to love it. And like Coach McDonald said, you obviously can't keep everybody, but they have done a good job of keeping their star players, their cornerstone type of players in-house, handing out extensions. And I think the beautiful thing about all of it, you look at those 3 players on the defensive side of the ball, they all feed off of each other. A guy like Derek Hall can get pressure on the quarterback when Leonard Williams is coming up the middle, supplying that inside presence on the quarterback. And now Witherspoon can win in the secondary because of those guys. I've just loved their offseason and the way Mike McDonald has approached everything. I got a chance to go to New England in 2018. That was after they had a Super Bowl appearance in 2017. And talking to those guys in the locker room, in April, they said, hey, expect the worst version of Bill Belichick because he knows how hard it is to get back. So he puts that much more pressure and intensity on us in practice. If you've gotten a chance to watch Hard Knocks, please watch it and enjoy it because you've seen this other side of Mike McDonald challenging his guys on the football field because he knows you've already lost a lot of time making it to the Super Bowl, and it's even harder to get back in that next season.
And we know how unforgiving it's going to be in the NFC West. ESPN Analytics likes the Rams over the Seahawks, but the 49ers not far behind.